Welcome in to the Radio Misfits. Hold on. I am Pugs Moran. He is James Parker. We do this whenever. Honestly, that's just whenever we're both up to it. It's pretty much 3 or 4 times a week now. Used to be Monday through Thursday, but Mondays were taken off the shelf because why, James?
Because we're in Dean Lewis's comedy workshop.
That's right. James and I are now professionally, well, not yet.
Professionally trained, not perfected.
Not
even professional, just professionally trained.
We're on our way, kiddo. You and me, straight to the top. So we're doing a show. Tell people about the show.
Tuesday, Addison Improv is what you need to know first. It's going to be the participants in the class and then 3 actual seasoned good comedians after that. So you're going to hear 5 minutes of suck from each of us. And then
it'll be us. See, it'll suck. Here's what's in it for you. We all been hanging out now for almost 3 years. We're in our 3rd year of doing these shows every night. You same damn people in the chat room every time. You come out, yeah, we're gonna suck, but it's gonna be us who's sucking. So you're used to it, and we'll get to all hang out a little.
Yeah, and you can laugh at us, laugh with us. I don't care. Yeah. There's a 2-item minimum. But if you let us know before you get there or before tomorrow, we can put you on the list and at least you get in free.
Okay. So, yeah, all you got to do is you got to send an email. You can hit up James. I didn't put James's contacts down there. So
I don't want it.
You don't want to be responsible for you.
I have a job.
He has a job. All right. I will handle all of this then. If you want to come, all you got to do is hit me up on Facebook. Send me a slide into my DM, as the kids say. You can do it on Facebook, which is Pugs Moran. You can do it on Twitter, which is Pugs Moran. Or you can send me an email, pugs@hireahero.org. I'll keep that scrolling at the bottom of the page just in case you didn't catch that the first time I said it. James, I got to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you ever find yourself at a moment confronted by what is unquestionably a cultural phenomena, a flashpoint of an era in time, and you look at it and you wonder, what the hell is everybody talking about?
Is this the Memphis boat thing again?
No.
Okay.
No, it's something far greater than the James.
James,
I watched Barbie last night. That's right, I watched Barbie. I know it's certainly not something you would ever expect me to watch, but it was such a cultural phenomenon, and it became available, and I said, you know what? I don't want to have this blind spot in my American pop. I'm already getting old. I don't know from a Cardi B. I don't know. So I'm trying. So I'm like, I'll watch Barbie. James, you've got daughters. Did you see Barbie?
No, I didn't see Barbie. It's not that I'm against it. I just... when it was time to go to that movie, I was like, I'll skip it.
Okay. I watched Barbie for 15 minutes. I couldn't take any more than 15 minutes. It was so stupid, man. I mean, there were moments because there were wonderful performances. And, Margot Robbie as a smoke show blonde in a tight dress for 2 hours. That's interesting. I'll watch for that. But that wears off pretty quick. And then it's just Ryan Gosling as Ken having one-liners every 15 minutes. And all I saw were 2 from him because I only watched 15 minutes. They broke into a dance number for no reason. And I was like, nope, I'm out. So I made it 15 minutes. I get it. I know what it looks like. It's visually dazzling. I can relate on that level.
All right. First off, you sound like my children. Tell me why it was so bad. What was? I don't know. You can't sit through 15 minutes of a movie. You walk out after 15 minutes.
No. Oh my God, no. Whoa. Movie theater? I would give a movie in a movie theater at least an hour. But I was laying in my bed and I had a whole bunch of other options.
Well, I didn't think you were in the theater. I'm just saying.
I know, but you said you can't make 15 minutes. No, I chose not to waste any more of my time, James. Certainly I can take. It's not a matter of what I could take.
It can't be because it's stupid, though, because there is other stupid things that you actually like. Like if you were watching the Beavis and Butthead movie, you would sit there for more than 15 minutes. You've probably watched Jackass for more than 15 minutes, or one of the Jackasses for more than 15 minutes. Hell, an episode of Jackass is longer than 15 minutes. You've watched some really dumb stuff, and it does. We all like to make fun of Al My Balls, but there's a reason why Al My Balls is going to be the #1 show in the year 2500. It's because people like stupid stuff. Even smart people sometimes like to watch stupid stuff.
2 points of contention. One, Beavis and Butthead is freaking genius. What an idiot. Don't go putting the early works of the great Mike Judge in the category with ouch, there's my balls. I will not allow it, sir. Secondly, I have never seen 1 second of Jackass. Your Honor, I rest my case.
Okay. The ironic part of that is who wrote Al My Balls?
My Judge.
Yeah.
Well,
How dare you compare Beavis and Butthead to Al My Balls? Yeah.
no, ouch, my balls was not an entire show. It was used as a comedic device in one of the great satires of all time. It was just a comedic device. Wasn't
Brilliant.
a whole movie called Ouch My Balls?
It's not, and it's not even a satire anymore. It's become a pre-documentary. Like it came out before it predicted the future in really short order. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Item number 2. All right. So the first one was that I tried to watch Barbie and I just couldn't make it through more than 15 minutes of it. Item number 2.
No. You say it's stupid. How is it stupid? The dialogue stupid or what?
Dude, it's stupid because I'm a 54-year-old white man. Okay, I have no appreciation for Barbie. I can't really detach myself from how stupid it is because that's what the movie asks. The movie asks you to just pretend you're in Barbie land, and I can do that with other things, but this was very distracting. It's like she didn't walk anywhere, James. She just floated everywhere because that's how Barbie doll. No little girl walks a Barbie doll. They all just pick them up and place them.
Yeah.
That was slightly interesting, right? An interesting job. Like, okay, it got really boring with her just floating everywhere for no reason.
That sounds all right.
Okay, my second question. Look, I'm not going to convince you. All I can say is it's not supposed to appeal to me. It didn't. I wanted to be a part of the cool kids clique. It seems to be a very hot topic this summer, and I just didn't get it, and I couldn't make it more than 15 minutes. Oh, what I mean to say is I chose not to make it more than 15 minutes. Certainly call me weak. I've watched terrible stuff. My second question for you is, I find myself watching Barbie last night because I have nothing to watch. What are you watching? Tell me about what you're watching.
Well, we're still going through Suits and Eastbound and Down. We have the second season of Ted Lasso on deck after that. And I don't know, there's so much stuff that is kind of already stuffed in our queue that those are the two we're bouncing back and forth with, Suits and Eastbound and Down right now.
I can't find anything to get into. I'm re-binging right now The Office and Parks and Rec. Just, a couple of old standbys. I would love to be able to get into a series that'll grip me.
There's a ton of them. Did you watch all the period pieces from Netflix? Did you watch Ottoman? Did you watch Marco Polo? Did you watch all the Last Kingdoms?
Yeah, I've seen the Last Kingdom. I don't want to see no Marco Polo. Isn't that one of those stupid History Channel looking things where it's actors but also historians talking about it, right? They're like to be a dude from the University of Texas in a dark room talking about Genghis Khan, and then they'd cut to like some bad action, Genghis Khan actors.
If I remember correctly,
I can't watch that stuff.
Wait, no. Marco Polo started out like that, and then they go away for like a few episodes because people figured out, oh, the narrative's way better than this dork.
Yeah, please, whoever that dude
and
is
then
from the University
comes back
on all of these shows.
So I highly recommend it, though. I absolutely loved it, and it's cool because you and I have talked about before are the whole of history from the whole part of the planet where most people live, like India and China. We know European history up and down, or like even the history of the Russian Revolution. So technically that stretches across northern Asia. We know like where Australia came from in the British Empire and colonization of America. We even know about Simon Bolivar and then all that South America crap, and Brazilians speak Portuguese, but we don't know. Just the average American knows so little. I know so little about Chinese history, Mongolian history, and Indian history, and that's where like 3/5 of the planet lives. Right? It's really weird. So it's really cool to see that come to life because the guy that the main I guess pro antagonist maybe would be Genghis Khan's grandson. There's like Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan, and we're at like some other Khan here, and I didn't even know anything about this dude, but you know
Shock.
he gets in a tiff. His brother challenges his emperorship, and they have to have like a sword fight to settle it. But they're like 50 something years old, you know, and they're not in the best of shape, but they have to hack it out anyway, man. So there's a lot of cool stuff like that. It's like The Last Kingdom, or it's like Rome, or it's like these other shows you watch, but just set on that side of the planet with those histories around them, and it's cool because it's something different.
Al in the chat room, he suggests I don't want to break bad on Al because Al's a wonderful guy, but Al says, aren't you guys Star Wars fans? You haven't seen Ohaska?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, Al, I love you, man, but I got out on Star Wars related television shows after they started coming weekly. Like there was like Boba Fett, and then that was followed by like, Life with Jabba. And then that was followed by like the Ewoks, and then that was followed by Obi-Wan. There were just too many of them. I couldn't keep up. So I don't know what this Oshawa. I'm too much.
Yeah, and it can't all be canon.
It can't. Or it certainly can't all be quality. I don't know if they try and shoehorn it into canon or not, but I can't. Ugh. So I'm sure there's my son, my son's 14. He's big into all the Star Wars stuff because this stuff is new to him. He doesn't realize I've been dealing with it since 77. I was first wave, first generation Star Wars. I don't need you nerds of today who are at best second generation Star Wars fans telling me. Yeah. Go ahead, James.
Well, it's not that Star Wars sucks. It's that we have all this other better stuff that's already in line in front of it. Like I need to finish Eastbound and Down. I'm not going to leave that show. Something bad would have to happen before I left that show.
Where are you at in Eastbound and Down? What season? Where's he at? Is he back in the minors? Is he playing, or is he still just farting around his brother's living room?
So first season, he was kicked out of the majors in the first season and lands as a middle school PE coach or something.
Yeah, crashing on his brother's couch.
Yeah, so he's a PE coach crashing on his brother's couch. Season 2, he goes to Mexico, finds his dad, gets in the minor leagues in Mexico. Season 3, he's in the minor leagues in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
With Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, man, he's so good there, Woody. And then he ends that season by making it to the majors and then walking away. And so now the season I'm in, so I guess this would be season 4. He's on the sports talk show. And we just finished that season when it ended with him getting the little jet backpack that shoots the water because the host of the show said he can't have it because he's not on that level. And so instead of going to marriage counseling with April and spending the money on his family and kids and helping everybody out, he went and bought that stupid thing.
Oh, that Kenny Powers. Okay, so do you got anything you want to start out with? Well, I guess that was something we just started out with, but I just occupied the first 20 minutes with my drive of the narrative. So go ahead, James. What do you got?
I was going to say, what are you watching? But you're not watching anything, are you?
The Parks and Rec and The Office, man. I feel like I've watched everything too many times. There's nothing new that really is interesting me. I don't know. Nothing seems interesting to me.
In today's age, the golden age of television, for you to say you can't find anything good to watch is absolutely ridiculous. Like that's not even an acceptable position to take. Just flip through the Amazon Prime menu, flip through the Apple TV menu, flip through the Hulu, flip through the Netflix, flip through the Disney Plus. There's tons.
James, let me tell you something. Since we fell feet first back into this conversation, let me tell you what I have been flipping through. Are you familiar with TikTok at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not. I got it on my phone. I've had it on my phone for a long time. I had an account for a long time. I've never really, done any TikToks, but I've recently started using it as a, piece of media, as a time-wasting device.
Yeah.
James, I have been watching more TikTok over the last, 2 months or so, like hours at a time. I give up on looking for things to watch on TV, and I just stare at my phone and do TikToks for before it's like playing video games. I'll look at the clock and 3 hours will have passed. And I'm like, what the hell? It is I understand why people are afraid of TikTok. It is crack cocaine for the whole entertainment synapse thing. It is it is constant. It is the gamble. It's like a slot machine. Ooh, what's the next video going to be? And every video doesn't take too much of your time. And you can just flip to another one and it is endless. I get why people are concerned. I really do. I'm kind of addicted to TikTok.
Well, the great comparison is the slot machine because it's the regular dopamine hits and every extension of the repeated behavior. Right. It's such a small, minuscule investment in both. Either if it's a slot machine, it's not much money for a pool. What is it? A nickel slot? Is it a quarter slot? Even if it's a dollar slot, $1, what's that? So you just keep going. It takes up not much, 10 seconds of your time, maybe, before it's time to make another investment. Now with TikTok, you're just losing like time and brain power.
Yes, that's all it is. I mean, it's part of the reason why I get why there are Americans concerned about Chinese influence with TikTok, because it is like crack cocaine. I could see like work productivity dropping drastically because of TikTok. People in the bathroom for 20 minutes instead of 5 because they're on TikTok for 15.
Oh. Let me defend TikTok for a second.
Yeah, by the way, I don't have a position on it at all. I obviously have it on my phone, so it'd be pretty hypocritical if I was one of these. I don't know enough about it. Go ahead, James.
Oh, look, we're getting some good recommendations because Vice Principals is something that's on my list to watch because that's Danny McBride's next project after Eastbound and Down, isn't it?
It's Danny McBride with Walton Goggins in a tour de force buddy performance by those two. It's hysterical. Yeah.
Did you see it? You already saw it?
Yeah, Vice President.
Jeff says, Ballard says, Warrior's good.
Okay.
Jennifer says, have you watched Alone? It's a new series in Australia. I
don't know about that, Jen. I get distracted by, but when I know something's made somewhere else, I get a little distracted. I got to be honest. And I'm getting tired of Netflix teasing me with really cool looking trailers, only for me to find that it's like, from Bulgaria.
Watch Suits. It's very much like Entourage, where everyone has a witty line to put on the end of every scene.
Here's my problem why I'm not watching Suits. I know Netflix has been trying to force it down our throats all summer long. I don't know why, but they are. And it's popular again. All this, it worked. Everyone's watching Suits. Here's why I won't fall for that. James, there's got to be a reason I've never seen Suits in 20 years. There's got to be
on USA, and USA consistently puts out a baloney product.
That is possible. That is very possible. Very possible. I don't know. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch an episode of Suits tonight. I'm gonna watch episode. I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna watch season 1, episode 1.
All right. So let me defend TikTok then.
Okay.
All right. So here is the magic of TikTok. We have all been pissed, whether it's like a David Copperfield special or a UFC fight or one of these events where there's really only about 4 minutes of real action, but they've got to fill up a whole half hour. And so they spend time on the intro. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from the other side of the world, it's a bunch of Asians flipping around, Cirque du Soleil. And then there's like a long musical intro, and there's lights and all this crap. And you're like, nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. You're not getting any dopamine hit. This is all build up and no payoff. TikTok's the opposite. TikTok just payoff.
Yeah.
You're going to see someone slip and fall. You're going to see someone slip and fall. And then in 6 seconds, you're going to see someone else slip and fall. Then you're going to see someone else slip and fall. And you're going to dopamine hit. Yeah, that was great. Ha, ha, ha. Dopamine hit. Yeah, and it's just constant. But it's the opposite of this whole thing where they build up this structure. Because, you see it all the time. I guess UFC is what you probably see it the most in. Of the entire program, how much is actual fight time and how much of it is them just ceremony and talking and commercials and crap? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of nonsense. They fill 5 hours with probably 20 minutes of action.
Exactly. TikTok is what you wish would happen. You'd be like, just take out all the crap and show me the action.
Let me tell you why it's so sinister too, because I'm not easily led astray. I can understand how something, the lessers out there, James, you know who we're talking about, the lessers out there. Yeah, I'm pretty good with the steel trap mind. I can't really be manipulated. Here's how they get you, because You just said what were you describing as the videos? Like kicking the nuts, or slip and fall, slip and fall, slip and fall, right?
My life loves
Okay.
the slip and falls.
See, that's not how they get me. Here's how they get me. Slip and fall, really funny one-liner, crazy raw video from a cop, car doing crazy donuts, boobs, slip and fall. They mix it up, man. That's why I keep myself there for 2 hours. It's not the same thing over and over. You know, it's not like boobs. It is like, I don't know, is there an algorithm? I don't like anything. Whatever they're doing, they are feeding my brain with little micro bursts of dopamine with every swipe, and I'm here for it.
Well, see, they don't even have to record your likes and dislikes. I mean, they do, and they adjust the algorithm accordingly.
But how? I don't like anything. I mean, I just look and swipe.
No.
If something doesn't catch, dude, here's how bad it is for my attention span. If something doesn't catch me in the first 3 seconds, I swipe.
That's everybody. That's everybody. But they know what you pause on. That's how they know. You know how when you go into the analytics on your YouTube channel, it's like you can see when everyone dropped off on watching the video, and it'll be like the average viewer stayed around for 1 minute and 24 seconds. You know, it's ridiculously low, but they know exactly which things you stop scrolling on and how long you stop scrolling and whether or not you finish the video. They know. And if you watch it 4 times in a row, they know, hey, Pugs likes boobs.
I'm all I'm saying is I completely understand why there are some people who are afraid of TikTok and think that it could be a tool used against us by the Chinese. And it could very well be a slow marathon type tool that they use to just make us dumber, to keep our attention span shorter and, you know, more dependent upon constant stimulation.
Yeah, I don't think it takes much effort to make the average person do dumb stuff. I do dumb stuff, and I don't think I'm a dumb person, but there's a reason butts keep showing up on my timeline as well, because that's the stuff I pause on because I'm an idiot. I also pause on jokes. I pause on, hey, look, they just discovered some mummy in a Mayan pyramid and whatever the hell.
There's so much boob stuff. There is so much boob stuff on TikTok. Boob drops. Like every third one is a boob drop. Do you know what a boob drop is? I just learned. Do you know what a boob drop is?
Yeah, I do. And
okay.
The problem is haven't I seen enough? Like, how many do I have to see before it gets old? I guess
you would
all
think.
of them. I guess. How many does it take?
You would think, right? At what point does this stop being fascinating to me as a male? And it doesn't.
And it's not like I'm bragging. It's like I want to see all the boobs in the world. No, it's embarrassing. I feel really stupid. Like it's not a good trait.
It's affecting his work life. Okay, that's fine. TikTok. I just wanted to let you know that's what I'm doing. I'm becoming a slave to the imperial Chinese manipulation, the Great Western manipulation. It'll be known in 500 years. James, do you have anything? I've got some audio and some crazy audio we need to listen to.
Do the crazy audio then.
Oh, dude. Okay, so let me tell you the story. This needs to be set up because this is unbelievable. Sometimes people just have a bad day and they're just done with it. So a woman sent her child on JetBlue through their unaccompanied minor program. That's how you do it when you're sending a kid, or kid's got to travel across country and the parents aren't going. So all the airlines have these. I can speak. I will tell you, man, Southwest Airlines, their program is awesome. It's like the only way to fly. My kid rode up in the cockpit with the pilots. He sat with like pretty stewardesses the entire flights. They held his hand when he was scared once when he was little. It's a wonderful program when it's done right. So apparently JetBlue, the much maligned JetBlue, doesn't do it so well. And that's when you get into problems, because this mother, they had sent their son, her son on the airplane, and there were some delays and the plane got routed, and the person for JetBlue that was supposed to be the chaperone for the kid, their shift ended because of the delay. So they left. And the 4-year-old was left in a strange airport all alone at 3:00 in the morning. Okay. Now, police found him. They obviously figured out what was going on. He was wearing. Here's the other thing they do at Southwest. I assume they did it at JetBlue as well. As soon as you hand your kid over to them, they put this chain around their neck with this like barcode on it that like At any point, if that kid is a stray, like wandering around, someone from Southwest can just grab him, hit the barcode, and know exactly where he needs to be. So I assume that's how the kid was found, wandering around this like Scranton airport at 4 a.m. So they get him back. Everything's fine. The mother, of course, a little bit upset with the service of JetBlue, not having a second chaperone there when the chaperone quits, or not quit, but their shift was done. First of all, can you imagine that? Well, what kind of quality of chaperone are we talking about, that their job is to take care of this kid and get it to its destination, and then they just go home because their shift is over? They just leave the kid?
It might have happened for 8 of the last 9 days, and today his wife is going to effing kill him if he misses this anniversary with her parents.
I don't. You don't know normal human being does that. They're like, I need to go, and my replacement is in here. I can't leave the kid alone. That's how a normal person deals with that situation. Not this guy. Apparently, this guy just left. So, all right. So the mom calls JetBlue. Now this is going around on the internet. Here, let me find this for you. So the mom calls JetBlue customer service. She's angry. She speaks to a customer service rep for JetBlue, and I'm going to play you the audio of her phone conversation. Okay, it's quite awesome. Hold on, let me find it for you.
You're going to share this out of another window because I don't see it in the.
Yeah, it's not yet. Okay, here we go. All right, very good. Let me make it big. There we go. We're shared. Not yet. There we go. All right, listen to this conversation. It says, I reached out to JetBlue chat and tweeted my experiences, and this is the phone call I received from their customer rep. Remember, they lost her kid. Unbelievably blatantly racist and using culturally insensitive language, mom says. All because his dad and I had concerns about not being accommodated and given an option to have him on a day flight due to delays. He arrived at 2 a.m. at a different airport. Never once did JetBlue send an apology or reach out. There you go. That's basically the story that I just told you. I gave you a little more detail because I had the news story, but here you go. This is the call that took place between her and a JetBlue representative.
And be the airline's responsibility, and didn't make any dispensation for what had happened if a plane would get delayed, which is a very common occurrence. So that makes you a terrible, terrible parent.
So it makes me a terrible parent because I used your service for unaccompanied minors?
Yes, yeah, you let an unaccompanied minor out into the world, and now you're complaining and wanting some free money.
I never said I wanted free money. That's something you said.
Did. Right at the start of the call, you said you wanted to know what I was going to do in terms of compensation.
Yeah, compensation could have been points, compensation.
Okay, are you following it so far, James?
This guy's allowed to say that? This is not company policy. Jesus Christ.
That's what I said, man. Sometimes people are just having a bad day. It goes on. Let's keep listening.
It could have been, if he's on another flight, that you guys would accommodate.
You should compensate us for the amount of time you've wasted with your begging.
I'm begging?
Yeah, you're on the phone begging for money from an airline.
I'm on the phone begging for money from an airline. Say that again?
Absolutely. You've got your little tin up in your hand and you're rattling it around. Like, why should I have to look after my own kid? Give me free money. Because that's obviously your mindset.
That's my mindset?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ron, you're with JetBlue currently, right? This is JetBlue speaking to me?
What do you mean currently? Are you implying you're going to get me fired?
I'm not implying I'm going to get you fired. I'm just confused that this is JetBlue's employee speaking to me.
Well, you know who you're speaking to, ma'am. I mean, you contacted us.
I contacted you.
I'm just explaining the situation to you, okay?
I can't believe... Is this call recorded, Ron? JetBlue, right? Because I think you guys record all calls.
Yes, we do, actually.
Okay, so this is recorded.
Okay. Yeah,
Say
we're
that
not
again?
a free childcare service, ma'am.
Okay. Did you just hear what happened there, James? She said, don't you record these calls? And he goes, oh, yeah, that's right, we do. And then he hit a button. We heard a boop, and we heard a voice go, call deleted. So he just...
Wait, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear call deleted.
Listen, yes, that's what you got to pay attention. Listen. Okay, here we go. He just deletes the recording in front of her after she asks about it.
Okay. Yeah,
Say
we're
that
not
again?
a free childcare service, ma'am.
Record all calls. Can't believe. Is this call recorded, Ron? JetBlue, right? Because I think you guys record all calls.
Yes, we do actually.
Okay, so this is recorded.
Okay, did you just
I
hear?
heard it that time. Good ear. Well done.
Call deleted.
We do actually.
JetBlue, right? Because I think you guys record all calls.
Yes, we do actually.
Okay, so this is recorded.
We got.
The goddamn nerve of this guy. I mean, he obviously doesn't give a crap. He's quitting his job, right? Doesn't it seem like a guy who's walking out of his job anyway, and this is like his last call, and he's just going for it?
Well, I think what's going on here is this is a guy who probably makes a crap salary, like 47,000 a year or something. You know, like it's not poverty wages, but it's not anything that you can tell by his age. This is probably a job that's beneath him, really.
Well, and he's got that accent. You know, yeah, you make that accent, you got to have some money in your pocket. That's not a working man's accent. And yet then he resents his station in life, and he's angry about that because he feels like he should have been more. He works with a bunch of dummies. You know, he's one of those guys. Everybody he works with is an idiot.
Well, it's not just that. If you've had this job for, more than 6 months or a year, think about how worn down you have been fielding everybody's grievances with JetBlue. And he's right. They're just showing up because they want to get something. They have a complaint and they want to get compensated for it. That's the only reason they're giving him crap, and they're acting like they're on some moral crusade. But what shuts them all up and gets them to quit complaining is not some sort of justice. It's money. They want something. They want some points or some free flights or some cash or something. And so he's had it. So he did that delete call thing snap like that. So he's done this 1,000 times. So he's probably gotten away with it like 48 times before this lady showed up. And the only reason he didn't get away with it this time is because she was recording it. Because these people, they can say what he can say whatever he wants. Oh, yeah, just asking for a handout. And then delete it when they're done. And if they call someone else and be like, you won't believe what this guy said to me. And he'll be like, prove it. So he's probably gotten away with this
Probably.
11 times until this lady showed up.
All right, let's go back to it. Let's listen to more. This is remember the offense. Don't lose sight of what the offense, because yes, it's funny that he's talking to her this way. And James makes a good point about he probably puts up with people in a lot of petty nonsense. This is not petty nonsense. They lost his kid. They lost this. Look, anybody who has put their kid on one of these airlines programs, there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through. And
yeah, but for this guy, did he lose her kid?
No, it doesn't matter. He still has to show human compassion and an understanding for what the conversation is about.
Well, as the resident Satan on the show, I would say she needs to direct her grievance to the dude that left her child alone.
Well, okay, but how does she do that? He's a private citizen, works for a company. All she can do is call customer service, James, which is what she's doing. All right,
I know, and flame some guy who had nothing to do with it. It's his job.
Would you stop trying to defend this asshole of a dude who probably needs to be checked into a rubber room because he's about to shoot a bunch of people in a bodega? He doesn't sound normal. Okay, James, look, I understand. You've only heard half the phone call. I get it. Let's go back and listen to some more.
Yeah, we're not a free childcare service, ma'am. Nowhere in the ticket price does it say free childcare for lazy parents.
Nowhere in the ticket it says free childcare for lazy parents. Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. I'm going to try and condescend you, even though I'm already looking like an idiot. Why don't you tell me to have a blessed day as well? You goddamn bumpkin. Say it. Have a blessed day.
Okay. You GD bumpkin. The disdain for the rural American from this British is palpable in that one. You GD bumpkin. Ooh.
Have a blessed day.
Yeah, he's mocking our whole culture while working for one of our shittiest airlines.
That's all right.
Stupid ignorant. Your kid's probably out selling crack right now while you work some dead-end shitty job that doesn't even have good Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Fucking loser.
this might
Anyway, I'm going to mark this as
this might be a little projection on his part.
Right. You work a pretty crappy job. My work has excellent Wi-Fi. Thank you very much.
I just don't think that a guy who's doing this for a job should be shitting on what anybody else does.
I know, because he has like an apartment offline.
It's bad. This
Yeah.
guy's got a backstory that's going to make us all feel bad for him.
selling crack right now while you work some dead-end shitty job that doesn't even have good Wi-Fi. Fucking loser. Anyway, I'm going to mark this as resolved. Do you have any more questions for me?
No, Ron.
Eddie Hazel, I'm going to mark this as resolved.
See, this is why I think he's done this 1,000 times, because that was really fluid. That just flowed right out the top of his esophagus.
The friggin' confidence, James. The cojones on this guy.
He's in the wrong here, but it's an admirable wrong.
Oh my God, it's impressive. It is. It's aspirational. The level of confidence that this guy.
Fucking loser. Anyway, I'm going to mark this as resolved. Do you have any more questions for me?
No, Ron. Thank you.
Okay, well, fuck off. That's the official corporate response is fuck off, okay?
Okay, thank you, Ron.
If you need some extra money for the month or whatever, why don't you just go on the street and, suck some dick for it?
Okay, so this James, now he's just being unnecessary. This could have ended a couple of minutes ago.
He turned the recording off, so now he's going ham on her.
He's getting his pound of flesh.
You should be making a difference in the world, unlike what you're currently doing.
No problem. Thank you,
Wait,
Ron.
what's that?
You should be making a difference
Oh.
or whatever. The response is fuck off, okay?
No, he was telling her to
Okay,
go
thank you, Ron.
commit an act of prostitution, so she'd be contributing to the world. But the funny part is she put her kid on a plane. She's not one of the bottom dwellers of society. 3 of my 4 kids have not ridden on a plane because I'm freaking poor. Not right. I mean, if I had much more disposable income, I would have found an excuse for it. I've had a lot of excuses to fly these buttholes places, but just haven't. Like drove to Disney World. Yeah.
Oh,
Disney.
that's better though. If you got little kids, drive those places. Because the cross country trip becomes the memory. Sure, the destination is fun and that's the payoff, but
Yes, it's what poor people tell themselves, Pugs.
no, I think maybe it certainly is a poor people thing because poor people are forced to justify these awful hurdles we must jump, right?
Yeah, I don't remember Logan Roy packing up Kendall and Roman and Shiv into the car and going cross country when it was time for them to do some traveling.
Rich people don't care about singing songs in front of the world's largest ball of twine. All right, let's go back.
If you need some extra money for the month or whatever, why don't you just go on the street and, suck some dick for it? At least you'd be making a difference in the world, unlike what you're currently doing.
No problem. Thank you, Ron. And thank you, JetBlue, for your services.
Welcome. Have a blessed day. Thank you. God bless you. Go and fuck off. Get out. Cut. I can't hang up on you. My phone system doesn't work like that. You have to.
After all that, he's at her mercy.
Hey, what's that last 30 seconds? That might be the best part. Go back.
After all of that, he realizes that he is at her mercy, and the slight change in the tone of his voice, it's like he's letting on. He's still uber confident, but he's letting out a little bit that he knows that she's holding some cards here. So apparently they can't hang up on the customer. The customer.
Well, also, if there's someone that's at a second level above him watching the switchboard, and if he's on a call for like a half hour or so, his boss is going to start listening in and seeing what's going on.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Oh, you guys share it, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just did it. Don't undo it.
Here you go.
Or whatever. Why don't you just go on the street and, suck some dick for it? At least you'd be making a difference in the world, unlike what you're currently doing.
So lame.
No problem. Thank you, Ron. And thank you, JetBlue, for your services.
Welcome. Have a blessed day. Thank you. God bless you. Go and fuck off. Get out. Cut. I can't hang up on you. My phone system doesn't work like that. You have to hang up on me.
That is some of the greatest deadpan comedy.
Now I need to hear this last 50 seconds. What is this last 50 seconds?
All right. I'm gonna leave it alone. That kills me so much. Here we go.
This day, thank you. God bless you. Go fuck off. Get out, cat. I can't hang up on you. My phone system doesn't work like that. You have to hang up on me. I think she's touching herself. Listening. Is that what you're doing? Man? She was in a basement. Looks like she was sitting over there. You work in a basement, man.
She's holding him hostage.
That audio.
All right. There you go. That's JetBlue customer service, and you wonder why JetBlue has such a crappy reputation.
I've enjoyed JetBlue, but I've never had a mistake with JetBlue, and I hear that's when they're the worst. Like they don't resolve any of their crap. Like
Well,
if you lose your bags or if you get delayed, I mean you're really delayed.
They're a poor people airline, you know. They're not one of, if you got money, you don't fly JetBlue unless it's absolutely convenient. Like, you know, you need to get from Miami to Orlando, right? Maybe that's, but you don't fly like cross country like I would. Like if I needed to go from Dallas to New York and the cheapest flight was JetBlue, I'd take JetBlue because that's what. But you know, rich people don't.
Definitely. Oh my God, yes.
And that's why JetBlue stays in business despite having all of this nonsense about them, because their fares are always so much cheaper. Because people will just go where the cheap fares are. And their planes don't crash much. What do you got, James?
This is the same genre. It's someone calling in to make a complaint to some big corporation about their product.
Okay.
But this is the Hall of Fame entry. This is the Jerry Rice of the client complaint world. This is the great Randy Taylor calling in about the size of Jimmy Dean's sausage.
Who's Randy Taylor? I don't know Randy Taylor.
Well, he's married to a plump Scotch girl. You'll hear. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You've probably heard this 10 times.
Randy Taylor. I don't know where you people come from. I don't know if you test your products, your quantity of your product. Your products are very delicious. Love your sausage for 30-something years, but I can't take and feed a family of 5 on a little 12-ounce roll of sausage. I don't mind paying you more money for your 16-ounce roll of sausage, but you don't have it anymore. You've got a 12-ounce roll, and you got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump Scotch girl, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and a couple of dozen eggs and feed that. It ain't going to work, and I'm not going to purchase your product anymore or ever again. And as far as your 16-ounce and maple and sage, I don't eat that. I'm not from the north. I'm a Texas man. Jimmy Dean sausage is for southern people to eat with the breakfast, with the fried eggs and the T-bone steaks. And I can't see going to a little 12-ounce package to feed 4, 5, 6 people. And I'm not going to buy 2 of those 12-ounce packages just because you want to downsize and charge the same goddamn price. I'd sure like a reply, and I'd sure like you to go back to your 16-ounce package on your regular sausage, because I'm not going to buy it otherwise ever again. I'll just have my own damn sausage made like I used to 30-something years ago. It's not tasty as yours is, but it'll work. Right. Goodbye. That little 12-ounce goddamn roll of sausage is supposed to feed your brother and me and you 600 pounds of men, at least. You get my point? And the 2 girls, and they put it in that fucking pussy roll of sausage. Son of a bitch. Somebody needs their ass kicked. Some little consumer geekaroid fucked this shit up. Save money. Yeah, save money. Save money. So fuck, I'm going to eat, goddammit.
Wonderful. Wonderful. See, James, I went in thinking that was a bit, that was somebody that it turns that I'm buying that as 100% legit, which I'm thinking it is. I was like, this is either the greatest actor in the world, or this is really a guy who is pissed off about the sausage.
So Randy Taylor manages to keep it together until he thinks he hung up, but I don't know if he didn't just get it on the rack or whatever, hit the wrong button on his flip phone. But he got totally vulgar when he just turns around and starts speaking to his little old wife or plump Scotch girl.
Plump little Scotch girl. Yeah, and you know what, Randy? I am from the north, and I as well do not appreciate maple covered sausage. I like the standard straight original recipe Jimmy Dean.
What about sage?
Or actually, I'm sorry, Bob Evans. Bob Evans. I'm Midwest. That's what we got up
What the hell's Bob Evans?
You don't know what Bob Evans is?
Get a rope.
You really don't know what Bob Evans is? You've never seen Bob Evans sausage. You've never seen a Bob Evans restaurant.
No, it's Jimmy Dean or it's Earl Campbell.
No, it's Bob. Look, I'll give you Jimmy Dean, but it's Johnsonville, it's Bob Evans.
Johnsonville, I've heard of, yeah.
Jimmy Dean. All right, Johnsonville is Wisconsin. So
Johnsonville's pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend somebody there? We have a lot of sausage companies around here, and they have a lot of sausage companies in Louisiana. Like, they don't buy outside sausage a whole lot. It's weird. I mean, it's good weird.
It's not sausage, not a big player in these parts, other than Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage.
What are you talking about? Earl Campbell dominates here in Bug Tussle because that's where he's from. He's from here. And so, dude, he has the whole big wide show because we have our own little grocery store chain that's based out of the same town. Tyler is the home of Brookshire's, and that's our regional grocery store. And Earl Campbell's from Tyler, and that's our sausage. So in Brookshire's, he gets like a big whole shelf to himself. And
nice.
It's our primary sausage brand. The rest of them are just like, yeah, you want some sausages? Here's Earl Campbell's, and then here's some other stuff if you want to, try other brands.
It's like that's like Nolan Ryan meat in Dallas grocery stores. It's everywhere. It's freaking, or it's like Mike Ditka sausage or Mike Ditka Jardiniere in the Chicagoland area. It's everywhere. It's like the #1 brand.
Yeah, at the Dairy Queens in Bug Tussle, they sell Nolan Ryan burgers at Dairy Queen.
Look at this. You've never seen this before. This doesn't look familiar to you.
No.
Bob Evans restaurant. Really? There's another. There's hundreds of them.
On TV. No, I don't know.
You've never heard Bob Evans down on the farm. That means nothing to you.
So is this not a sausage?
Yeah. Well, they're famous for their sausage, but these are breakfast restaurants.
Oh, so it's like a hickory fare. It's like a sausage and a restaurant.
It's like a nicer Waffle House. You go in there and you get breakfast foods, but they're all based around their famous sausage, Bob Evans' famous sausage. Can't believe you never heard of Bob Evans.
Get nicer than Waffle House is such a thing.
It is. It's sort of like the Walmart to Target equation. Bob Evans would be more like Target, right?
I thought that would be like Denny's to IHOP.
Okay. All right. Here,
no, I never heard of Bob Evans. This is all new to me. Today is the first day I've seen a Bob Evans anything.
Okay, well, here you go. There you go. Boom. Bob Evans sausage, man. Look at that. I grew up on this shit. Stuff's good. You've never seen it, but there, premium cuts of pork.
Well, I've also had in my lifetime, like we have our little sausage here, and then you go over and you live in New Orleans, and the sausage is different. And then you come back here, and all that sausage that was in New Orleans isn't here. It's a whole different route. So I imagine, of course, you had a different sausage. Bob Evans, yeah, you probably had like different milk companies too. You probably had different bread companies. Like Mrs. Baird's bread is sort of the dominant bread out here in Bug Tussle, and then you go, 3 hours in any direction, and it's not really. I don't know. Mrs. Baird's is kind of a thing in Dallas too, I guess, but it doesn't even exist in New Orleans. They don't have it in any of the stores in New Orleans. Mrs. Baird's doesn't exist in New Orleans.
I don't know. I think Mrs. Baird's is in Chicago just as easily as it is in Dallas. I think it's a major national bread line.
Mrs. Baird's bread says on the package that this is baked in Texas. Now that doesn't mean.
Then maybe you're right. Because I get things confused between what's a Chicago thing and what's a Texas thing.
As well, you should. But just to solve this before anybody gets all pissy and complains that we're getting something wrong, this is why I think that. So you go to mrsbairds.com and this is what you see. Mrs. Baird's Texas born. Texas born. Now, hang on. Do not get excited about this. This doesn't mean I'm right because Texas Roadhouse is based in like Kentucky or something. They're out of like, I think Louisville or Frankfurt or something. So there's people that throw you off like Dairy Queen. You know, they have all these Texas commercials, Texas themed commercials. They're like, this is DQ country. That's not a Texas brand either. They're based out of, I forgot where, but
Joliet, Illinois.
is that where it is?
Yeah, that's where the first Dairy Queen is. Yeah.
So glad you know this stuff. Is that where they're from?
I don't know if that's where they've probably been purchased by some, Japanese conglomerate, but yeah, there was always a headquarters like in the original stores in Joliet, Illinois.
Are they one of the ones that's owned by Yum Brands?
Probably, I don't know.
Let's see. It was founded in Joliet, Illinois. The headquarters is now in Bloomington, Minnesota.
Oh, there you go. All right.
That is not.
You know that makes them a part of the company, the Target company. That's the big company in Bloomington, Minnesota that seems to own everything in the world. The same company that owns Target probably owns Dairy Queen.
But Dairy Queen comes down here and they put a monkey on the back of a dog and they have what's his name, Ron Phillips or whatever from the Texas Country Reporter, and they have all these cowboys. This is DQ country and all this Texas stuff, and they're from Minnesota.
There you go. Well, I also got news for you, James. I am looking at the website of Jewel Osco, which is our Kroger or Tom Thumb or whatever you want to call it up there in Chicago. It's our major grocery store chain, Jewel Osco. I'm looking at Jewel Osco, and yeah, they got Mrs. Baird's. I thought it was up there too. I thought that was like Wonder Bread. It's like Wonder Bread and Mrs. Baird's.
Oh, so good. Look,
and here, hold on, but here's what it says right in the description on the Jewel Osco website. Texas baked since 1908. So it is Texas original, but it's a national brand now.
Well, they didn't have it in New Orleans. And when my wife moved here, she actually bought some Mrs. Baird's and brought this home. She goes, "What is this? Is this okay bread? I have never seen this." I was like, "Oh, you insane piece of garbage. That is our default bread, and you have insulted our entire being." Oh my God.
Yeah, the Mrs. Baird's honey wheat seems to have been a big player in my life for a number of years. That seems to be the one that I always look at when I see bread. But when I was married, because me, single guy, I buy like white Wonder Bread. That's my go-to. That's the greatest bread on the planet, man. That shit, you add a little bit of mouth saliva to Wonder Bread and it turns into like gum. It's like the craziest. I know it's crazy. Dude, there is nothing better than a Wonder Bread peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That is absolute heaven. So I'm a Wonder Bread guy. But every time, I get in a relationship with a girl and she starts bringing home bread, it's always wheat.
Well, see, we went through a nice phase where we were trying all the breads on the rack because throughout your 20s, you can only afford either the cheapest bread or the good mid-grade. But they had this whole section of like artisanal breads you wouldn't ever buy because it was $8 a loaf. And the Mrs. Baird's or even the store brand is like $1 a loaf, maybe $2. And so when you go and you make a little bit of money and you have some disposable income and you say, well, look, we'll get our normal bread because we got to make crap ass sandwiches for the kiddos and stuff, but let's get like Dave's Rockin' Bread with the 11 different seeds in it. Yeah.
Cool. Look at us. We're kind of hippies.
So we went and tried all the breads, and that was awesome.
What was the best? What was your favorite? What's your go-to bread? And I don't mean by brand. I mean, what do you like? You got a ham sandwich. You doing it on white? You doing it on rye? You doing it on pumpernickel? What are you doing? What's the brand?
Well, that's not a fair question. That's like asking what's your favorite flavor of ice cream, and it really depends on your mood.
That's true. That's very true.
I want a sherbet or a dark chocolate or a mint chocolate. It's not the same.
I mean, I'll eat a corned beef sandwich on white bread, but I'd prefer it on rye.
Well, that's just based out of routine. That doesn't necessarily mean it's better. But no, I do like a good rye. I like the darker breads for the most part. But the Dave's Rockin', isn't that what it's called? The guy you know what I'm talking about, the Dave's Rockin' Bread?
Nope. I'm going to take your word for it. I'm sure Emil's got some in it. It sounds like the kind of bread he's got in his pantry.
Well, no, this is the
Fancy Whole Foods bread.
this is the good bread at the cheap store. So this is the good, yeah, this is the good bread if you're at like a Winn-Dixie or a Rouse's or a Brookshire's or a Kroger, Tom Thumb, whatever. But if you're shopping at Whole Foods or a Central Market or something of that nature, maybe they don't have it. Dave's, thank you, Hugh. God, I'm so slow. Dave's Killer Bread, that's what it is. But in some of them, he's playing the guitar, like the Dave cartoon.
Oh God, I don't like Dave already.
Well, he makes good bread, and get the one with I think it's actually a 9-seed bread. I was just exaggerating for.
I don't need seeds. I got too many holes in my
You
teeth.
don't need seeds. Of course, you don't need seeds, but you chew on it and you get some little extra crunch and you get a little flavor pop, and you kind of grow a taste for the seeds. And then next time you're eating bread, you're like, oh, I wish I had some of that seeds. There's no seeds to crunch on in here, and you miss it. Like you have it, and it's okay, and it's good, but when it's gone, you miss it.
You say so. All right. I come from a family, James, that took bread very seriously. We never went with the lowest bread, but we're bakery people, James. Have you ever known bakery people?
No.
Yeah, we had a specific store that we went to for bread. I'm not kidding. It's like that's the way the old neighborhood was. You go to the bakery, grandma brings home.
Yes, you went to the butcher, and then you went to the
Yep.
baker, and then you went to the candlestick maker.
Well, the butcher, I remember the butcher from being very young, but the butcher gave way to the major grocery stores fairly quickly in the 70s. But the baker held on, man. Baker held on into the 90s. I remember having to go to the baker for pick up Easter pies and stuff. Not Jewel or not Kroger, not that gigantic bakery section. I had to go to the little Polish people bakery and pick it up in the neighborhood.
And Byron's right. Bakery bread molds too fast because they don't have those great preservatives in them.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying they're better. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying, it was probably more expensive. And my family seemed to take bread very seriously. We always had a nice assortment of wheats and pumpernickels and ryes.
I would also like that. This is a good time to point out that I am pro preservative, and I just like to float that out there.
Fantastic.
Just letting you know. I think preservatives get a bad rap. People's like, oh God, all these foods they have preservatives in them. So, well, that's not good for you. Show me where. How's that not good for you? You okay? I'm okay. I eat them all day, every day. So do you. We're fine. This is great. We're so healthy. Go ahead.
My son left a bowl of ice cream on a counter for like 3 hours. It didn't melt. Preservatives are great, man.
I don't know if that's preservative's fault for a low melting point, but if it is, then bonus.
It's something they put in it, and I ain't complaining. And he was like, Dad, look. And I go, holy cow. Because he was eating ice cream. He put it down. We ran out to lunch. And then we came back like an hour and a half later, and his ice cream was still in the bowl on the counter, and it hadn't melted. I was like, that's probably really bad for your organs. But go ahead. Now you got dessert.
But it tastes great.
Tastes great. All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you. That's going to do it. Tomorrow at noon, the High Noon Show. I am Pugs Moran. He is James Parker. We are the Radio Misfits. Bye, everybody.